Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 9. Our group represents by 8 members, which are myself, Nurul Izzati Shazwani, Lawen Chin, Nur Izzati Husna, Kuganiswar, Ahmad Syamil Farhan, Ainul Arifah, Muhammad Zikri, and Nur Tiwani. Our group will talk about the radio server, which is also known as Remote Authentication Dial-in User. Is a client-server protocol that secures the connection and ensures that only authenticated users are able to access the network. It is also known as AAA server. AAA servers offer 3 services, which are authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication is a procedure to figure out whether a user that requests Radius network connection is authorized and active. It starts when a user tries to log into the network. Next, for the authorization, the radius will determine that privileged user will be granted, such as the sources that can be accessed, tasks that can be performed, and how long they can be used. Lastly, accounting. Information about users' log activities while on the network is all monitored and collected. It may include the number of resources used, the quantity of data sent and received during a session.
So next, how Radius server works. The first step is Radius server will search the database against the user's credentials when it receives the access request from network attached storage, which is called NAS. The step 2 is Radius server will return the access accept response with access permission, session, and other privileges once the request is verified. The step 3 is accounting database creates a record of the user and allows the data to be sent at the start and end of the sessions that indicates the number of resources used during session. Next, the advantages. It prevents private information from being leaked, avoids the pain of password management, central point for user and system authentication. It is a great tool for managing a large network and secure VPN authentication. So we go to the disadvantages. The first is implemented on-prem, initial setup for a non-hosted Radius server, security vulnerabilities if not implemented correctly. Last but not least, often communicate using multiple protocols.
Is how to configure Radius server. First, install and set up Windows Server 2019. Install Active Directory Domain Services to configure the new domain. Install Certificate Authorities with Active Directory Certificate Services and Network Policy Server. Then configure certificate authorities, for example Active Directory Certificate Services for certificates, and configure Network Policy Server for the authentication protocol. Next, configure Radius and define network policies for user and devices. Configure access point and set up 0 client and select 802.1x authentication, and lastly configure wireless connection request. How to test the authentication of Radius server. This is the interface you will see after activating the authentication of Radius server. First, enter the user credentials, username and password. Next, the authentication status along with the Radius server response will be displayed if it is successfully connected.